Hello, my name is William Pintauro-Tabares. This is my video submission for my Communications 3320 class. I live in Round Rock, Texas, and my major is Communications. And today I'm supposed to be talking about a case that means a lot to me, whether it be federal or state. And I'd like to talk to you about the Obergefell versus Hodges case that was ruled on by the Supreme Court, which ruled that the fundamental right to marry is guaranteed to everyone, same-sex marriage as well as opposite couples as well, both due to the Due Process Clause and the Equal Protections Clause of the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution. And it was a ruling that was decided over 5-4 by the United Supreme Court. Those in favor were Anthony Kennedy, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Stephen Breyer, Sonia Sotomayor, and Elena Kagan. Those against were John Roberts, Antonin Scalia, Clarence Thomas, and Samuel Alito. Now, this guaranteed that the ruling guarantees that all 50 states, including the District of Columbia and all insular areas, are to perform and recognize as equal any marriage, whether they be same-sex or opposite sex, with all accompanying rights and responsibilities. And before the ruling, it was appealed by the 4th, 7th, and 9th, and 10th Circuit to be constitutional. However, it was overruled by the 6th Circuit, citing Baker versus Nelson, which said that it was unconstitutional. Now, this created a split of all the circuits, and which ultimately led to the Supreme Court review. And on June 26, 2015, it was ruled on by the Supreme Court that it was legal in all 50 states, including D.C. and all surrounding areas. They all had to issue marriage license and perform same-sex marriages and recognize them as legitimate entities. Now, this ruling didn't come about on its own. It was actually preceded by many, many different cases, 6 of which were actually very important. In Michigan, we had the DeBoer versus Snyder case. In Ohio, there was 2, Obergefell versus Kasich. There was also Henry versus Winslow. In Kentucky, there was Bork versus Bashar, and also Love versus Bashar. And then in Tennessee, there was Tanko versus Haslam. Now, again, those were 6 very, very important cases excuse me, that preceded Obergefell versus Hodges. And the reason this is important to me is because I am actually in a same-sex marriage, and I've been married for 5.5 years, going on 6 now. We've been together 7.5, going on 8 years, and my marriage is solid, and I love my husband with all my heart, and we're going to be married probably till the day we die. And I don't understand why anybody would deny anyone the privilege and the joy of being in a relationship with someone you love, regardless of the sex. Anyway, either way, there are still going to be people who are completely against it. For example, just a few years ago, there was Rowan County, Kentucky clerk Kim Davis, who actually defied the Supreme Court ruling and chose not to give out marriage certificates. She failed to issue marriage certificates, and she was ultimately jailed and given hefty fines. And then finally voted out in January of 2019, which is great. However, and it's very hypocritical because she herself had 4 marriages. However, she was supported by people like Mike Huckabee and Ted Cruz, which is insane because our political leaders are supposed to be supporting American citizens and not turning against them. Anyway, so that was the court case that means an extraordinary great deal to myself and many, many other people in the United States. That is my video submission, and I'd love to hear what yours is. Thank you. Have a good day. Goodbye.